Let's go back in time. 380 million years ago, during the Devonian period, Earth was a large arid of forest with levels of CO2 being 15-fold, and Earth was locked sort of like a Pangea, and its climate was uniformly warm. And living in this time period was large fishes, amphibians, and arthropods, while also adding in parts of cephalopods and maybe even sharks back then. However, with this comes with our very first species of spiders, being the Atocopus fimbriampus. I might have butchered the name. This spider wasn't very large. It was only about 1 centimeter in length and was thin-waisted arachnid with abdominal segmentation and silk production spinnerets, and mainly fed on small insects. However, for 380 million years, this little guy came from one little spot to becoming everywhere on Earth now. It is in Greenland with the Arctic wolf spiders. The European ant-eating spiders lived in Germany, Switzerland, Finland, and Poland. Jumping spiders that lived in rainforests, and desert tarantulas that lived in, well, deserts. But how did they become so successful? In this video, I'm going to be talking about, well, spiders. One of the best adaptations that spiders has is the ability to make silk, a natural fibre of protein. They have been using them to make a whole sort of things, such as webs, homes, nets, and ballooning. With the webs, they are able to catch flies, mosquitoes, bees, wasps, snakes, lizards, birds, and bats, and then mummifying them with their own webs. And they have been using them as sensors, detecting vibrations of their prey. They produce silk from this spinnerets that is in the underside of the rear abdomen, where they have the chemicals to produce silk. To produce a strand of silk, they would have to pull them out, either by having a special comb on the back of their legs to pull them out, or to use certain part of substrates or structures to pull them out of the abdomen. Spider silk can be extremely strong and tensile, which is the resistance of breaking under pressure, and just as strong as Kevlar in terms of the ability to stretch and reform without breaking. This is impressive as the density of spider silk is less than Kevlar. This is important as you would need to have strong materials to catch animals. However, not all spiders uses webbing to catch their prey. For example, tarantulas tend to ambush their prey and use their fangs to kill prey. Wolf spiders tend to chase down their prey and leap onto them. But Ethan, I hear you ask, if spiderwebs are so sticky, how do spiders not get stuck by their own webs? Well, first off, not all the part of the spiderweb is sticky, being that the center of the spiderweb is not sticky, while the outside spiral part of the webs contains a glue-like substance. In fact, orb weavers can produce a non-sticky web that acts as scaffolding to help avoid the sticky parts of the web. Secondly, being that spiders are very careful with their webs and only using 2 parts of the limbs for the webs. Thirdly, being that spiders tend to groom their legs with their mouths to remove any of the adhesive from the bristles. Fourthly, being that spiders contain bristly hairs on their legs that to help reduce the amount of glue-like substance that would stick on the spider's legs. Different spiders have different purposes for their hairs. Examples, some spiders might use their hairs to sense the world around them, as some spiders might not have good eyesight, or it would help to sense vibrations of the ground. Some spiders, such as certain jumping spiders, could use their hairs as like mating displays to show off their dance moves, as a lot of jumping spiders would contain a lot of colouring on their hairs. And some hairs on tarantulas would use for defences, as the hairs contains barbs that can make the skin itch and irritate, and in both the eyes and the nose, and is done by kicking their legs. So the hairs would have just multi-uses for them. Well, on the tip of their legs contains little hairs that make sure that they do not fall off, as they would fit into the holes of pads and walls. Some spiders, such as house spiders and flaying spiders, can fall off from a high place and survive. This is due to the fact that they're lightweight and the fact that they have enough air resistance that it acts as a parachute. According to the research in University of Konstantinos in Germany by behavior ecologist Danielia C. Rossler, caught a local jumping spider and kept it in a plastic box with a 3D print of a model of a predatory spider, and one night found a spider hanging on the lid of the box. It turns out that the spider was simply asleep, and discovered as they would hang from an object with their silk and just curl their legs up, and so the scientists watched the spider's behavior throughout the night and noticed that the spider was twitching its legs and abdomen, curling its legs towards the sternum. With every spider recorded, those odd movements only appeared during distance bouts, occurred periodically at night. Similarly to dogs and cats, dreams and have their own little REM sleeps. Note, REM sleeps is rapid eye movement, as it involves a state of partial or near total muscle paralysis paired with active, and this makes me wonder, what possible dreams could the spider have? What nightmares and weird dreams could the spider experience during its sleep time? However, this does not mean that the spider cannot be hunted. Examples being chameleons, geckos, certain frogs can hunt spiders due to the fact that they could just use their sticky tongues and just swallow them whole. Hawkflies are able to hunt tarantulas, as what they do is that they can paralyze the tarantula and then sting them multiple times and inject them with their own eggs, and then, like a xenomorph, can just slowly hatch, eat away the spider from the inside, and then burst out of the exoskeleton. And scorpions are able to and scorpions are capable to kill spiders, as their pincers could grab their legs and just tear them off, and then could sting directly onto their heads, completely killing them, as the venom would just melt their brains. Spiders are examples of keystone species. Keystone species are organisms that help define the entire ecosystem. Without them, it would either dramatically be different or would just cease to exist. Examples of spiders being tarantulas are good for controlling the populations of insects and prey on other species, as it would prevent any overpopulations of certain animals. Jumping spiders and crab spiders, as they roam from the bloom to another, they individually pick up and transfer pollen, aiding the pollination of plants. Spiders can help make healthy, bountiful crops and fertile soil, as they assist in pollinating and aiding decomposing of dead plants and animals by eating insects that hinder the process. Lastly, spiders can help with agriculture, as spiders that create webs can help hunt down certain pests that can eat up the crops for it. Examples of pests being pest moths, and a spider web can catch up to 250 insects in a single day with one web. This is good, as some of these pests has developed resistance to chemical insecticides, which can cause both human and environmental damage. So by using natural predators such as spiders can help combat infestations, such as the Cytophora criticola are used for pest control, as they create large webs and are not cannibals. Now, as cool as spiders are, we do have some fakers in the wildlife, such as the camel spider and the sun spider. Although they do contain 8 legs like a spider, they are actually so pugid as they lack the ability to produce silk. Sea spiders can be found across the world. However, they're not arachnids. They are known as Pycnogonidae. I might have butchered the name. As like spiders to contain 8 legs, rather they are more like arthropods and not arachnids, as the difference between them is that arachnids contain 2 body segments on their bodies, being the abdomen. Sea spiders lack the large abdomen characteristics. In the end, it's amazing how spiders have came from what they were 380 million years ago, being able to adapt to hunt animals underwater, to literally being able to fly in the air, is incredible. It's amazing how species like spiders that's lived for so many millions of years have adapted into so many niches in life. That will be the end of the video. I hope you find that interesting to learn about spiders. I personally love spiders because they're just sort of these lovely, unique animals. My personal favourites are the trapdoor spiders, just because of that. Like, it looks kind of horrifying because it's literally just a pop out of a hand and it just grabs their prey, and then it's so fast you don't even notice it. And the wall spider, because I always like that little like horror of like you like hit the animal and then an army of like little baby versions of that animal just spew out the body. But yeah, I hope you find this very interesting to learn about. If you like this video, please leave a like and maybe subscribe.